You need to stop focusing on diet as a young calisthenic athlete. Just for reference, to give a little bit of insight on who I am, my name is Brandon. I'm 16 years old. I went from 100 pounds to 140 pounds while staying the same height. I know I've been this height since I was 12. I'm short. I'm like 5'1". I'm taller. My best lifts are, what should I list? 100 pounds for 5 reps on weighted pull-ups. I've done over 40 handstand push-ups in a workout. You can check my Instagram or look at YouTube Shorts, see the type of muscle-ups that I can do. And I've been training calisthenics for roughly 8 months, maybe almost 9 now. I have not made diet a large priority other than what I'm going to list in this video and what you should be doing in order to maximize your diet at this stage, because simply it's just not needed yet. So here's what you do. If you are a young guy and you're skinny, there's really only two bridges when it comes to dieting as a younger skinny guy, which I'm assuming who you are if you're watching this and you're paying attention to me. You're either skinny or you're fat. There's no in between. If you're skinny, fat, and in the middle, we're going to put you in the same boat as a skinny guy, because it is the same thing. This is from my experience. This is from the people that I've coached. This is from the people that I've spoken to who are coaches all across the world. What you need to do is, if you're a skinny guy, you simply need to just eat more than you normally do and track your weight. Track it. You'll have, let's say on Monday of week 1, you weigh 100 pounds. And then like Tuesday you weigh like 101, and then like Wednesday you weigh 100, and then like Thursday 99, and it stays roughly around that 100 pounds. And then you average all those weights. So what you do is, over the course of those 7 days, what you do is, so let's say you average out to 100.5 pounds. You go sick. Next week, my average needs to be higher than that. You focus on eating, you prioritize eating, you focus on training hard, you focus on just generally eating healthy things. You can have a little bit of junk every few days, especially if you're a skinny guy. If you're a heavier guy, not so much. You kind of need to down how much junk food you eat, not even because necessarily you eat a ton of junk food. You don't get fat off like fucking broccoli. But my point is, even if you don't eat a bunch of junk food, if you eat healthy stuff, but they're still like somewhat calorie dense, then you will gain weight if you're in that boat. But for the skinny guys, you can have a little bit of junk, no problem. By week 2, instead of being 100.5 pounds, you should be at least 100.6 pounds when you average out all the numbers. There are online trackers that do this. There are a bunch of different things. You don't need to track your calories when you're a young guy just starting out, unless you want to be super, super serious about it. I've tried it, and honestly, it makes no difference for me. It obviously does make a difference because it's something you've tracked. And if it's something that you're tracking, then obviously there's a way to progress in it versus regress in it. If you don't track it, you don't know which way you're going. But I track my weight. I know how heavy I am. I know that I'm slowly gaining weight. I said I was 140 pounds in the beginning. I'm actually like 142-ish. You don't need to focus on macros, really. You don't need to focus on calories, really. All you need to do is just make sure you're eating healthy foods, which you know what healthy foods are. Don't lie and say that you don't. Like, well, is this avocado good for me? Yes, it's good for you. No shit. Is this donut good for me? No, it's not good for you. It's a donut. It's marketed as not being good for you. Can I have this ice cream sandwich? No, it's called Fat Boy. Why would you eat the ice cream sandwich that's called Fat Boy? What is wrong with you? You need to just use some common sense when it comes to these things. And if you want to go even further, you can look up foods that are high in calories versus low in calories, proportionate to the serving that you get. Like nuts, for example, or peanut butter are fairly high in calories. Even though those things are technically good for you, you can overeat it and it can become not good for you if your goal is trying to lose weight, for example. So that's just the basic stuff for the skinny guys. And I'm going to be kind of going back and forth, but now I'm going to focus on like the heavier, fatter guys. If you're fat, you're lucky, because the skinny guys have to kill themselves to actually gain weight, because we have fast metabolisms, we don't have high appetites, we just naturally can't build a large frame because of our bone structure, whatever. You guys, on the other hand, it's a lot easier for you to build muscle. It's a lot easier for you to gain size, but in calisthenics, it's inconvenient because you build a lot of dead weight as well, because it's easy for you to build fat. So you're in the same boat. as the skinny guys, as in you have to do a little bit of suffering in order to get the goal that you want. But at the same time, you're a lot luckier because if you can be, if you can have like some ounce of self-control, you're not going to be 6% body fat, but you're going to be stronger than pretty much any guy in your gym when it comes to your weighted lifts, depending on like how far into the you're just naturally a fat dude boat that you're in. So here's what you do. Same thing as the skinny guys, just focus on eating less. The heavier guys, I would actually recommend tracking your calories because for you, it's more important. If you're trying to gain weight, it's not as important because if the weight's going up, then that's all that matters. When you're heavier, you can think, I'm not eating a lot at all. Like, I'm hungry all the time. Like, what's happening? But you either maintain your weight or you're gaining weight. The reason why you want to track your calories for that is because that helps you space out your meals better so you won't be hungry. And also it forces you to eat more satiating things. So like a chicken breast, for example, there's not a ton of calories in that. But because it's a protein, because it's a meat, because it's like somewhat dense and kind of heavy, it's going to sit in your stomach differently than a salad would because people go, oh, well, there's no calories in salad. Yeah. And I'm not saying don't eat your salad. I'm saying the opposite. You fill up on your salad, especially if you're a heavy guy. But the salad, that's not going to make you full and it's not very good and you're not going to eat a bunch of it. You're still allowed to enjoy your food if you're a heavier guy. You're still allowed to cheat once a week with one meal, not like a full cheat day because we can go into a whole rant about that. But basically, if you have one cheat day, if let's say your goal is to eat 2,000 calories a day and that's 14,000 calories in a week. And that's how much it takes for you to lose like half a pound for that week. So if that's like 200 calorie deficit, your maintenance would be, let me do this quick math real quick. 2 times 14, that would be 15,400 calories, I believe. Something around there. So 15,400 calories is your maintenance. 4,000 is how much you need to be eating. If you're a heavier guy and you're naturally hungry, and you want to eat like a box of donuts, and a box of donuts, there's like 3,000 calories. You're already over what your lowering is, and you're already your maintenance, so you're gaining weight. Imagine if you had a full cheat day. So when you cheat as a heavy guy, it's not as fun as if you're skinny. You can't have a full pizza. You can't have the 10 apple fritter things from Walmart. You just don't have the genetics for that. I'm sorry. It's really unfortunate. I wish I could help you, but there's nothing you can do about that. Unless you want to like get Ozempic or something, or I don't even know if that's what Ozempic does, to be honest. But if you want to get some like weird type of medicine and put it into your body that also eats away at your muscles, because Ozempic does do that. If you're taking Ozempic, then it actually eats away at your muscle mass, which is completely the opposite of what you want if you're trying to get better at calisthenics, because not only are you going to lose fat, which is going to make like your weighted dips harder, for example, and maybe even your 90-degree handstand push-ups, depending on how like narrow your grip is, but it's also going to make you weaker because you're losing so much muscle. So you don't want that either. So you guys, for the heavier guys, for the fatter guys, you can't cheat as much. And again, it's unfortunate, but that's what you have to do. So you got to be more careful. The heavier guys have to figure out actual like fun alternatives for things. So you're the ones who have to get the low sugar ice cream, the no sugar ice cream, the keto stuff, the keto buns, the keto bread, whatever. And I'm not saying carbs are bad for you at all. Unless you're diabetic, carbs are fucking amazing for you. Everybody should eat carbs, especially if you're an athlete. But the skinny guys, they don't have to worry about it as much. So for the skinny guys who are trying to gain weight, you'll get 80% of your results as long as you're in a calorie surplus. You don't need to focus about macros. Micros aren't even in question for you. You just need to worry about getting your calories and gaining weight slowly over time. So like a pound, if you're a beginner, 2 pounds a week is fine. If you're a little bit more advanced, like you've been training for a year or maybe 3 years, 1 pound a week is fine. And if you're anything more advanced than that, then half a pound per week is best for you, because as you get more advanced, the harder it is for your body to pack on muscle. And it's just gonna pile on extra fat when you don't need to. If you're a heavier guy, you know how to gain weight. The second you want to bulk up and get bigger, then you just know, okay, I'm going to fucking eat 2 chicken breasts today instead of 1, and you're already gained like 5 pounds. It's a lot easier for you guys. And I know that's not exactly how it works, so don't be commenting like, oh, dude, this kid thinks he knows what he's talking about. Shut up. You have to be a lot smarter if you're just naturally fat. That's just the reality of it. If you're skinny fat, then you're kind of in both boats. You have to be smart, but also you can have a little bit more fun. It's interesting how the skinny fat people work, but if you're skinny fat, just treat yourself like you're skinny, because skinny fat means you eat a low protein diet and you don't eat a lot of food because you don't have a lot of muscle because you don't have enough protein in your system, or you just naturally don't have enough muscle, and you don't eat a lot of food, so you're not a very big guy. Real quick before you go, actionable step for the heavy guys, start tracking your calories. Actionable step for the lighter guys, start tracking your weight. The heavy guys also need to track their weight, but it's not as important as long as you're in that calorie deficit and like their image in the mirror is getting better, because or their image in the mirror is getting smaller. Because what will happen is, a lot of times if you're in a small calorie deficit of like 200 to 300 calories, or even more, up to 500, I wouldn't push it any past that. But when you're in that calorie deficit, if you go to the gym and you start building muscle and you're building more muscle and you're training properly, you can plateau. But at the same time, that doesn't mean reduce the calories. That means look in the mirror for a few months, take progress pictures and see, okay, I'm the same weight as I was, but I definitely have abs in that picture and I didn't have abs in that picture. I'm building muscle, and I'm most certainly making progress. For the skinny guys, if the scale goes up, you're getting bigger. It's kind of hard to say, oh, well, it's water weight. Yeah, it can be water weight if it's like the first week or two, but after 2 or 3 months, it's not water weight anymore. You have to be putting on some kind of size. And if you're naturally a skinny guy who has like some kind of definition, just not a lot of muscle, then it's probably going to be mostly muscle. I haven't cut a single day in my life. I've been in perma bulk mode since I was like 12 years old. And if you don't know what that means, basically just like constantly gain weight. I've been in that mode since I was 12 years old, and I've gained 45 pounds almost of pretty much only muscle. And I might have even gotten a little bit leaner. So another thing you can do, join my community called GUO. What it is, it's getting you out of a life that you don't like and into a life that you do like, starting with calisthenics. It's free right now, but it will not be in the future once I release all the courses. Make sure you join, because when I start charging, you will still be in, and you'll have all of the courses with all of the knowledge that I put into those courses, and how to train, how to eat, how to sleep, how your mindset needs to be, and all those good things that you need in order to make your maximum calisthenics progress. This has been Brandon. Keep doing the best at doing your best. Fist bump. Signing off.